Hello, I'm Father Joe Gambala, pastor of St. Malachy Catholic Church in Sterling Heights, Archdiocese of Detroit. Welcome to Saint of the Day. Today is April the 24th. Today's saint is Saint Ivo. Saint Ivo was born and raised in the 700s in ancient Persia, which is now modern-day Iran. He was a Christian. At that particular time, the Muslim leaders were tolerating Christians. He was very involved in the Christian church and eventually became a local bishop. He worked very hard, but he had a nice house. He had a lot of servants. He had a comfortable life. After many years of this, he began to realize that this comfortable life was making him soft and that he wasn't as keen as he used to be about his faith. And he was giving in to too many fine meals and too many fine wines and, too many comfy clothes. And he decided that he needed to do something radical to change the direction of his spiritual life. So he decided to leave the house and get rid of all his fine clothes and decided to go on a pilgrimage. And a couple of guys joined him on this. And he traveled across the Persian Empire and to the Byzantine Empire. And after about a year and a half of pilgrimage, ended up in what's now modern-day England. And him and his friends decided to live as hermits. So they went from fine living with fine clothes and food and wine to basically living in a cave, wearing raggedy clothes and eating very simple foods they could gather up in the woods or grow whatever they could in their garden or whatever hermit passerbyers would offer for them. They lived there and eventually passed away in that cave and were long forgotten until about 300 or so years later, a local peasant had a dream. And in the dream, he was told to go find the bishop's bones. Well, the peasant thought this was a weird dream, and he was out there, and he stumbles upon the cave, and he goes inside, and sure enough, he finds the graves of the two companions and the bones of the person who had buried the last one and where he was sat and died, and saw by the cross that he was wearing that this must be the bishop and his companions. So they dug up the bones, and they brought up to a monastery in Garden, and at Garden, they were reburied, and many miracles were attributed for people praying over this bishop and his companions' graves.